Excellent. That's recording. And the volume is up. Obviously, I'll edit out any preamble and stuff. Obviously, Erin doesn't really need to have video recordings like her going on YouTube where she's eyes glazed channeling. If everyone, what I do want to say, wait. Let me just text about the Guruji tomorrow. It looks like we're going to take the whole thing to Center for Spiritual Enlightenment, which is 2 blocks over on Route 29 next to the State Theater tomorrow night. We're going to merge their Monday night event with this to make it bigger and more dynamic. But it will be too big for us to host in this tiny room. So if anyone is coming tomorrow night, I'll be here till like the start, like sending people over. You can still park here in our parking lot, and then it just, cut through the parking lot. It's like just 2-block walk, or there's not really much parking over there. It's a little tricky, but that's where we'll be.
We'll have dinner first, then you can go to one of the 2-3 restaurants right there, and leave your car and walk like 20 feet.
Okay, so Wanda of Rays of Healing just wanted to see if she could talk to me at 4. I'm like, no. But I think she's going to be doing a fundraiser then. Okay, if everyone could put your phone off or in airplane mode, that would be awesome.
Not sure we wanted to close those doors because the light behind was blocking the view.
You want to turn the lights out.
Yeah, we can turn the lights out.
Yeah, but it's that window behind
Oh,
us.
yeah.
Like, so we,
This window wasn't on the side.
it's just yeah, no,
but
yeah,
Let me
that
move
one's
up
fine.
and
It's
close
the
it.
window.
I'll come back
We
there
just
and
closed those doors last time.
Thank you for noticing that. I forgot about it. We'll just close the doors.
Well, Susie's behind the door.
Oh.
She has to move up in order to, otherwise we're closing her in there. So those
Yeah,
doors-
that's
Yeah, She's trying to fix one and then the other.
Thank you.
Did you want the other light off here, Bonita? That one off?
I don't think that one was
That
causing
one
a
wasn't a
glare.
problem.
It
It's
was
just
that
personal
window behind.
preference.
Yeah.
Okay, what's going on with the TV? There we go. Okay. Is there any way to close this box?
Yeah, so that's the, I don't know how to do any of that.
Oh.
Push that red up in the left hand corner.
That's the whole thing closes.
Oh,
That'll get rid of
Yeah,
FaceTime.
okay, don't do that.
No, we don't want to do that. Oh,
This is Apple.
And the green makes,
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Well,
We could just like maybe drag it to the left and just make the screen bigger.
no, it doesn't get bigger. It doesn't get bigger. I've tried
Yeah.
that a couple times. There are ways. I do not know what they are.
this is what we got for today.
That's
And you know what? And I'll turn the volume
We
up.
apologize for the distraction. The screen not being quite right.
Okay, there we go. It's the best we got, and it's better than not. Okay. So, everyone, let's breathe in whatever way or manner is comfortable for you. Allow your head to become very relaxed and the top of your head become very relaxed. With every breath you bring in, allow the air to gently flow through your body without any focus or rhyme or reason. Just allow each breath to go where it wishes. You'll find some of your breath will naturally rise up and flow around your mind. Each breath you take, air will flow in all directions, lightening up and loosing all the crevices in your body, giving a little breath of energy to each chakra, helping you light up. attention to your next breath, to the air that flows through your mind, the air that flows up and filters through your thoughts, lightening, brightening, releasing. The air that flows through your mind, and some of it floats up at the top of your head. The air that floats up and rises like vapor rising from a lake on a misty morning when the sun comes to greet us. You breathe in and feel your head become lighter, looser, and porous. As you breathe in, you feel all the energy flowing and filtering. Breathe in again, and the air flows up and around. Focus on your in-breath. Allow the out-breath to take care of itself. You'll notice that you may feel like you're breathing in more than you're breathing out, because you're breathing into your entire body. Every cell and organ in your body, all the little nooks and crannies, your ears, the back of your jaw, the very center of your throat, around every vertebrae, going down from your head, down, to your root chakra, your hip connectors, your knees, even the underside of your kneecap. Protect your knee joint. All of your fingers and toes. Everywhere in your body is becoming filled with breath. And as your skin is very porous, as are all your organs and bones, some of this air chooses to settle and stay for a time in your being. Some will flow out to your skin, which gives your skin the freedom to breathe back in. Each breath, you find you are becoming one with breath. Your whole body is breathing together, flowing, lightening up. You're becoming a very floating state of breathing. You feel light, airy, light as a state of being, both in volume, in color. We are a room filled with light bringers. Feel how much easier it is to be filled with light seem different, and yet they both come to the same effect. Energy that is filling your being, making you warm, light, and airy, and your being bright with light, very soft glow of airy light, becoming this light allows us to become very receptive, very open. It allows the energy around us, all the energy of light, healing, love, joy, to be able to harmonize with ease and grace within our beings. With each breath, feel how the more you lighten up, the more you become a shining light. That joy and love can flow within, become one with you. You can feel how your chakras are able to just expand naturally without effort. They just flow like clouds of light blowing with a gentle breeze. You're able to flow and even mingle with tendrils dancing together with each other. Each breath gives that gentle breeze to allow your chakras to flow and expand within and around your body, connecting with each other. With each breath, may each of us become one of our own and one together. Each breath that flows out of you connects with the breath of each person in this room. And we all breathe in together, creating a higher resonance of energy for our breath of light, our lightness of being. Feel how each of us unique beings have become one with each other. Our energies flowing and breathing, walking, creating their own sacred sense of being. As we breathe in, feel the sacred connection to all the beautiful light beings around you. As we are breathing in, raising our vibrational energy, you feel how all of our being becomes light allow this energy to rise up through your being. Feel how from root chakra on up your energy becomes lighter and lighter as it reaches your neck and your head and rises up from you, connecting your very light and very head to top, energetically rising to your crown chakra, energetically rising from you, connecting your being with light, higher and higher. You feel with each breath flowing and filtering through your being, your energy rises higher and higher. And with each breath, crown chakra opens and expands and is filled with the middle light. Your energy rises higher and higher. You are becoming so open and light and light-filled, airy and receptive. Your energy rises higher and higher, expands out all the energy of spirit, the universe, and source is able to breathe in your energy, become one with it together. Your energy rises up and becomes one with the energy. You become one with the spirit of all. You become one with being. Breathe in again. Breathe in again. And open yourself to become one with your higher self and one with your guardian angel. You are welcome to connect with your higher self and your guardian angel on whatever level feels comfortable and natural for this moment. Both your higher self and your guardian angel are here with you now to support you and care for you as we go on this amazing journey. You're welcome to have them with you by your side, within you, hovering above you, holding your hand, however is a comfortable fit for you at this moment, and however the fit feels comfortable, amazing journey. This is allowing you to connect on an extraordinary level with the messages of the angels that will come through and will resonate with you for every level of your being, every level of information storage that you have. Your higher self has full recollection of all your lives and all your time between lives. And your guardian angel has full understanding and appreciation of the extraordinary beauty that is you. They are with you today to help you be completely receptive to the beautiful healing energy, to the love that will flow through today. You may find that they will whisper thoughts within your mind. Be welcome and receptive to that. Today is a day when you can harmonize within yourself on all levels and allow the angels, with Erin's help, to flow through your being, heal, express and explain, align your being, give personal insights. Today is a day when we will all of us be one within ourselves, one with the universe, one with God and the angels, one with our friends, near and far, one with all spiritual beings, human, animal, insect, other dimensions. Today, allow yourself to be receptive to connection. Allow yourself to be receptive to whispers, feelings. Allow yourself to be receptive to flashes of insight, extraordinary vision, emotions, reactions, and responses. Today is a day that we allow ourselves to feel the beauty, the energy. Feel how much light, flowing energy is with us. Feel the vibration, how we, just us few humble beings, have raised the vibration of this space, tapped into the universe, feel the extraordinary moment we feel your connection to your guardian angel. Who is also absolutely thrilled to be with you. Allow yourself to be in a state of total acceptance, openness, appreciation. Allow yourself to resonate absolute openness and honesty. Allow yourself to be. When you're ready, and open your eyes, take your time. And now you will call to Erin. I'm going to turn the fan down a little bit so it's less noise.
Is it okay that it's a little before?
Where's the supposed to be button? She might still be in meditation. Maybe. Yep, 429.
Got the number right?
Let's double check. Okay, 602-526-8435. I can go out of airplane mode and call Pam. Yeah, let's just pause it for a moment. Hello, it's Benita. We were just trying to FaceTime you. Hi. I have a wonderful room full of people here. We've been meditating for a half an hour. Yes, raising the vibration. Okay, great. We're going to try the FaceTime call. Okay, let's try the call again. Okay, we're calling right now. I hope. Is it ringing on your end? To Erin's phone? It's not ringing.
Is it plugged in underneath the computer?
Yeah.
Plugged into what?
Yeah.
Does it
Oh,
need
the
to
phone
be-
needs to be plugged into the
Okay.
computer. Oh, hold on. We figured out our technical glitch. Okay. Either that or is your computer logged into my internet?
Nope.
Should
Don't look
be.
at me.
Yeah.
I mean, the computer should be.
Our tech people are not here today. So
I turned my phone off so that it wouldn't interrupt.
Oh yeah,
but
no, I don't think we need the phone. Are you on our internet?
it should be, but
Would you like to try to FaceTime Susan's number? Yeah, would you like to try to FaceTime Susan's number? Okay, Susan, what's your phone number?
415
415
722
722.
7390.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that.
Awesome. Let's see if that will work. I'll stay on the phone with you while we're trying this.
Yeah, the phone's plugged in, but I don't know how to
No,
keep
I
it
don't
from...
think the phone will work. I think we need to do it through. Did you have the phone plugged in the laptop last time?
I can't remember, like, how...
Oh.
I had nothing to do with setting it up.
Okay. I have no idea. Yeah, that would be great. Awesome.
Okay, so we're getting the call on the phone, but
It's-
not on the computer. Hi, Erin.
Oh, well, we
So
have
we've
it
got it
on the
on-
phone.
We've
but
got it
not-
on the phone, but not on the computer. Which is odd, because the computer's hooked up to the phone, but... can I try calling you again from my computer? See if maybe that... technical problem. All right, hold on. All right, well, we know the connection works. I don't know why. Yeah, but it's making that funny ring. I mean, internet would be here, right? Like, I don't know what to go to. Just to verify that we have internet.
Are we online?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. It's not loading. So that is a good sign that we're probably not online. But so where do you go on the computer to, like, is that under system preferences or computer not literate?
Icon next to the rock.
Next to this one. Yeah, that's what I'm trying. That's what I'm on. Oh, the launch pad. Anyone knows how to, like,
Log on to the internet.
log on to the internet?
If there's any Mac people here, feel welcome to. Okay. So we're trying to. The computer doesn't want to go online, so that's the problem. We're trying to get it online right now. Okay.
And it kind of looks like
Oh yeah, you're logged on. You're on. Yeah, no, we're online. Hi.
Although it's not
Yeah,
working,
we are online.
but I'm not able to get a web page to come up. So.
Well, we're online, but the internet's not working. So we're trying to figure out. Yeah, I mean the internet should be working. It's working on my laptop, but I have a PC. So
I mean, I guess we could do it on the phone and just prop the phone up. But...
yeah, I have Skype. Yeah.
That won't work without the internet either, though, and I don't know why the computer's not.
Right.
I think Benita's.
No, my computer has Skype. So I will. For some reason, her laptop, boy, technology is definitely. And you know what, Kim said that she had a vision that technology would fail us, and I asked her why she was saying, but she thought it was about Arun's workshop yesterday. Yeah.
Let's all heal this.
Yeah. Oh, Skype's not working, but
Do you want me just to call her and put the phone here? Like,
yeah, okay. So how about if we just go through the phone and we'll just be tiny, since we're not video recording it? Okay, and we'll just have everyone talking really, really loud. Okay, thank you. All right, thanks. So we'll call you right now. Thank you. All right, bye. Okay. Oh,
Nothing was unplugged
technology.
when you were
Actually, we
should unplug things. Like over here or over here.
No, it's plugged in. No, it was showing that it's on the. No. Hello. Hi.
okay.
When people have questions, is there any way that you can hand the phone to them?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. And Benita's going to keep trying to get us online.
Hi, come on in.
Susan, do you know?
No, you know what? Let's just work with this for now. So, it's right next to you. So we apologize for this. Everyone, let's get our vibrate. We were so vibrating. We were so vibrating. But we feel so blessed to be with you today. So now that we had this small interruption, how would you like us to go from here?
I guess we'll just go.
Okay, lovely. We're ready when you are.
All right. Let's see. I know that everyone who wants to talk with you today is ready.
Lovely. Wonderful.
So I guess I will step aside. I have a lot of things to talk about today, and I know they want to say it, but it has a lot to do with the Ascension symptoms people are going through right now. Some of you might be aware of that, and others might not, but that's one of the topics they want to discuss. And also, there are a few other things that they will talk about. So I will step out of the way now.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How is everyone?
Well,
Thank you.
Of course, we are so pleased to have you and to be with you today. And of course, what was just said is exactly what we want to talk about. Right now, at this time, is a major amount of change coming through the earth plane that many of you are aware of, many of you are experiencing and feeling at this point. What we want to do is clear some things up for you so that you can understand what you're experiencing. As some of you know, your physical bodies are changing. This is in order to be able to house the God consciousness as being fully realized. Because as you become more God realized the body right now, the way that it is, cannot actually hold this vibration. Your physical bodies are at this point at a vibration far too low to handle the frequency of God. Is this clear?
Yes.
Now, this is not something to be afraid of. It is natural occurrence. It is what is happening as your vibrations raise. It is what is happening as your expansion happens with your consciousness and also the universe. There are other things we would like to talk about. A reminder. This is happening right now, but you do have to keep in mind that this still is all an illusion. Your body is still an illusion. Is this clear?
Yes.
This has not changed, so keep this in mind, but it is that your illusion is raising as well. You will become so God realized that this plane of existence will no longer be at all the way it is right now. All of the things that are happening on this plane of existence is ending. And it is a gentle ending and moving forward. Is this clear?
Yes.
There are so many changes coming. But we want you to be very aware of these things. A lot of your needs are changing as well in the body. And we ask that you honor these changes. You are actually going from a 2-strand DNA to a 12-strand DNA. This is happening over time. It is not something that's going to happen tomorrow or in the next moment, but it is in the process of happening right now, which is why some of you may be experiencing a larger need for fuel. This takes a lot of fuel. Is it clear?
Yes.
Primarily, this is protein. Is it clear?
Yes.
Very much protein-based diet for this building of the new DNA and the new cellular structure that you are coming into. And again, we have to say it is all illusion. So don't take it so seriously. Is this clear?
Yes.
It is still meant to be lighthearted because you are moving into an era that is of lightheartedness, closer to God. In fact, embodying God as you are meant to do. There are a number of other symptoms that we would like to talk about. As you come into this realization that this world is an illusion and that you are not your body, we did not say that right now, but we have told many of you, you are not your body at all. Your body is your temple. It is how you are able to be here in this physical plane of existence. It is here for you to be able to be here, to be of assistance to all others, as well as for this raising of mass consciousness. Is this clear?
Yes.
And so, some of you may have been experiencing this, but we want to tell you as you begin to really come to recognize yourself not as your body, but as energy that just simply is in your body for this lifetime, you will begin to have senses of not being in your body. Have any of you been experiencing this?
Some people people have.
We want you to not feel afraid of this. It is simply happening because you are coming into realization that you are not the body that you reside in, that you are far greater than this. You are spirit, you are God, you are Christ. And you simply are in a physical body. Also, over time, as you become accustomed to this feeling of not being in your body so much anymore, you will experience a new kind of grounding, which is you can be not fully in the body the way that you were before and still remain grounded at the same time. Does this make sense?
Absolutely.
And of course, the way to do this is to begin to recognize yourself completely as a spirit, completely as energy, and embrace this. And also work with us, your guides, and God. Relying more on the guidance you receive from higher beings. Is this clear? This is the end of the ego consciousness.
Yay!
You will no longer need or feel that you need to hold on to your ego because you will become so self with a capital S reliant, which is reliance upon God, that the ego simply will cease to exist. And this will take time as well.
Can you tell us, when you say take time, what sort of timeline?
It is a time, it has to do with you and the choices you make from moment to moment. So we want to ask you to become more aware of what is an ego thought or an ego action and what is not. And when you discover an ego thought or an ego action, you just simply turn away from that and choose God instead. We will try to find some ways to explain this. There are examples, and it is slightly different for each person, because each person has made their own ego. Is this clear?
Yes.
And it is wherever you hurt the most, or wherever it can grab you the most, and that is where it dwells. Does this make sense?
Yes.
This is fear and concern about certain things. We will bring this up right now. We will use the world right now as an example of where the ego can come and begin to pull you away from true realization. This is a perfect time to begin to talk about this because you have right now an active political occurrence that is happening. And every one of you is aware of this, correct? This is a place where the ego loves to dwell. It is there because it knows that it can pull you back into this illusion. All of politics is an illusion. None of it is real. None of them are God realized, we have to say. Is this clear?
Oh, yeah.
And so it is time to recognize this, because your ego will want to pull you back into this battle because there are opinions. Is this clear?
Yes.
Wherever there are opinions, you can rest assured ego is present. Is this clear?
Yes.
The only thing that ever passes judgment or creating opinion is ego. When you rise above this and see it from a higher perspective and remove yourself from the drama of the world and simply exist as you are in your God-realized self, you will know how to navigate this plane of existence and move from this world to the new golden age. Is this clear?
Yes.
And of course, this takes, as you know, time and patience, and is a moment by moment action. But do know that right now the energies are ramping up to expedite your progress forward. It is now that this is happening because it is time. Is this clear?
Yes.
We want you to not be afraid, but embrace the changes that are happening. They are all for the highest good, not only for yourself, but for everyone on this planet as well as the entire universe. For as you rise in your vibration, the entire universe does as well. Does this make sense?
That's amazing.
And something, we have so much more to talk about with this. We would like to say one more thing, and then we will, of course, ask you, how is this sounding for you, and where can we help you understand this better? Would you like to have this now, or we can talk momentarily about food?
Food?
Food.
Yeah.
Your situation with food. Is this what you would like?
Yes.
Because we know that so many are so focused on this. If you have not seen this, that is the case. We want you to understand the way that it has been taught over time about your food, which of course is illusion, has been so detrimental to your growth and progress as spiritual being. It is terrible. Your standard American diet is a reflection of this. Is this clear?
Oh, yeah.
The restrictions and what it says is good for you is actually detrimental for you. A lot of new ways are coming forward at this time, and many of you are aware that each person has a different need and are now embarking on these new journeys in this part of their lives as well. This is for the better because it is helping fuel the brain and all neurons throughout your body to be able to move through this ascension and change in your body from the carbon-based body to the crystalline-based body. Is this clear?
Yes.
And we think that that is about it for that for now, because there are many other things. Each one of these things is there, but we would like to know, how can we help you understand this to a greater extent? We would like to have a conversation with you. Has this made sense to everyone as much as it can?
Yes.
Is there any area of the information given that you would like to have a little more clearly delivered?
I do have a question. You said that the energy that we create affects our entire universe. Are there in our universe and this dimension other physical beings who are also evolving that we could connect with.
Absolutely. And in fact, because all is in truth in the mind and heart of God, all is one, you are all connected anyway. So what happens here does affect all throughout the universe. It's a ripple effect. So as this plane of existence raises, each other dimension becomes better and raises higher as well.
Nice.
And yes, you can connect with others. Some of you are already in contact with others. Some of you have contracts with being connected to others. And that is yours. Is this clear?
Yes.
So be very mindful of all that you do because it does affect everything. So that is a good reason to want to be in the positive and higher vibrations, is to hold the higher vibrations and understand that it also has a ripple effect and affects everyone in the universe and in a beneficial way and moves you much higher and above in this plane of existence beyond the world that you currently reside in. So it has multiple areas of benefit. And in fact, this multitude of beneficial effects is infinite, always expanding and never ending.
Wonderful. I think if anyone has a question, it's better rather than jostle the phone if you come up and speak it.
I have a question. You were talking about foods that would enable a being to become more light oriented. What kinds of foods specifically were you thinking of?
It would have to be, of course, we want to tell you, is a lot of protein. This can be plant-based protein as well as animal-based protein. But make sure that it's very important, it is organic and it is sustainable. Is this clear? There is love placed into these kinds of food that are not in the mainstream, as you understand, foods that are available. Is this clear?
Yes. Does anyone have a question?
Hello.
Hello.
I have a question which I'm not sure can be answered, but you mentioned about the strands of DNA in, I guess, getting formed more than we already have as part of the Ascension process. My question is, would we be able to notice changes once, let's say, completion of a strand is done, or what would if so, what would that change feel like?
You are going to become very aware of subtle changes. They may not be something that you can physically place, so to speak, but it is happening. They are also made primarily of light, as well as the protein. Is this clear?
Not really.
It is the creation of DNA strands. And that is the best way that we can describe it at this point in time.
So, for example, in my lifetime, would I feel subtle changes of a completion of a strand?
It would happen, but in truth, what you feel is a consciousness shift. And when you have these, understand that you have achieved somewhat of this new crystalline structure. And it's happening naturally at the same time, because as you become of a higher frequency, the body has to adjust to hold that,
Okay. Thank you.
of course.
On that subject, yesterday when Guruji Arun was here, he was talking about transmutation and how he had seen people turn something from one object into another by turning cow dung into delicious food, a dessert that people were able to eat. And so if by hearing this story, we know that it's possible to transmute and change the genetic structure of a food or any product, it's feasible then that through our awareness and our meditation and our lifestyle and raising our vibrational level, we can, with purpose and intent, grow our genetic structure to help with this. Is that correct?
It is happening. That is something. The intention is very good to place there. There is also a matter of trusting that it is happening and letting go and letting God as well. We just have to say that. But this is also stepping into your God self. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Your true points of creativity. Is this clear? It's one of the aspects of creativity. Does this make sense?
Yes, it does. Does that make sense? Okay. Yes.
That is what you are in truth. Because you come from a creator, how can you not be a creator yourself?
That is true. Are there any other aspects of creativity that you would like to bring to our immediate understanding?
We will try to explain a little of this. And this is very much a point. We hesitate because some of this is very advanced. Is this clear?
Yes.
And then all we can tell you about the creativity at this point is to recognize creativity. You understand it to some degree with being able to control the thoughts that you think and what you bring to yourself, etc. Is this clear?
Yes.
That is a form of creativity. That is creativity working with the laws of the universe, which is what you're meant to do. And further from that, there will be and is another set of creativity that comes directly, of course, from the Creator and is done from the 0 point. This is where we speak of being advanced, is because it is simply a piece of knowledge that everything comes from this 0 point. Is this clear?
Is this clear? No, not really.
You have heard of the 0 point, correct?
No.
You have heard of Tesla.
Yes.
Yes.
That is who we are speaking of. He spoke of the 0 point. That's the point we want to discuss. That is a point that comes before manifestation. That is a place, at the same time a dimension, that is pre-manifestation. It is where the creativity begins. Eventually, this will become much better understood.
Oh, we have one more question.
Can you please specify which particular laws of the universe you are referring to, with which one connects with respect to the creativity aspect of oneself?
It is the law of attraction, a law of cause and effect. Is this clear?
Not entirely.
The law of attraction, law of cause and effect, is setting something in motion. We will say a thought. Let's say you have a thought in your mind that you keep thinking. You think it until you believe it. And what you notice is that everything that is coming to you is in exact alignment with the thought you have been thinking and believing. That is a form of working with the law of attraction. But not everyone is aware that they are doing that. Every moment of your lives, you are actually working with law of attraction and or law of cause and effect. But most people are not aware that they are doing this at all. Now is the time to become aware of this so that you can control more of your life experience. Does this make sense?
So are you saying that in order to enhance one's creativity, one would connect with the law of attraction?
It is to understand the law of attraction, the law of cause and effect. This is also the law of karma. Is this clear? It is whatever you do has an effect and brings to you more of this effect that was set in motion by your action or your beliefs and thoughts. Connect with these laws in order to bring to you what you actually desire rather than letting whatever come to you. So yes, indeed, connect to these laws, learn about them, and begin to practice them. Is this clear?
When you are talking about creativity, are you talking about creativity in the realm of painting, music, dance, the arts, or what kind of creativity?
The kind of creativity we are talking about is the creation. So that is where we can actually adjust this. We go from creativity. When we speak of creativity, we are speaking of creation. You work with the creation energies. Of course, creativity, as in the arts, is a part of this, if that is where you are inclined. But the real creation really begins with what you have in your experience and what you would like to see happen in your experience. That is the creativity we are speaking about.
Thank you. Can you expand on how to be grounded while outside of your body?
Absolutely. So you recognize yourself as energy first. You know you are not the body that you reside in. In fact, you can look at the body and recognize it and say to yourself, this is not who I really am. This is simply the vessel in which I reside for this lifetime. But I am not limited by this vessel, and this vessel is not me. As you begin to recognize this, you will begin to feel yourself not really connected to the body as much, but to be grounded while not in the body is to be connected to God and to Mother Earth at the same time. Is this clear?
Yes.
That is being able to connect yourself to the core of Gaia and have yourself in the higher realms of the God consciousness as well. And also to work with your guides, speak to them more, commune with them more, and they will be guiding you in amazing ways. You will not feel alone anymore. You become grounded in this truth, that there is so much more than what you see with the physical eyes. Does this make sense?
Yes.
It does take time to become accustomed to this way of living, but you will become accustomed to it. And be gentle with the practice of it, because you do absolutely have to remain grounded at all times. You cannot go very much higher when you are completely ungrounded. So it is always good to root yourself into the earth. You could do this by visualizing your energy reaching to the core of earth and seeing it anchor there. You can feel the energy anchoring into the earth. And as it is anchored into the earth, you can then move higher up into your higher chakras and a higher awareness of God. Does this make sense?
Yes.
So we suggest practicing this daily. In meditation, you can practice this. And then once you feel comfortable with it, then you can begin to put it out in the world while you're in the world. Is this clear?
Yes.
But we do suggest that you practice this first before you do this, because it is very much different, we'll say. And your entire perspective of the world will be shifted.
I have a question about the dimension that's closest to God or Source. I've talked with several people who say they visit this area. One person called it the Great Expanse. Another person called it the place of all knowing. And they said that it's bigger than our universe and beyond, but it's all light and all knowledge of everything because it's next to God. This is an area that's filled with God light and God love. I find this extraordinary, but when I look up online, I can't find anything with Google. Is this something that you can tell us about?
We will try to tell you a little about this. That is a part of God, yes. You are much closer to God than you realize. This is all within you. It is not outside of you. Is this clear?
Yes.
This realm that has been experienced is not outside of you, but is within you. This is your point where you experience God with the most connection and the most intimacy. Is this clear?
Yes. That's wonderful.
We also want for you to understand that sometimes these areas do not always appear to be all light. Is this clear?
How else might it appear?
There are some times we will explain. This dimension that we are about to speak of, we want you to not be afraid of if you experience it. It is the 12th dimension. It is the dimension of creativity, which is the 0 point that we were discussing before. This is not necessarily an area that you find being filled with all light, because it is pre-manifestation. This is clear?
Yes.
It is and typically feels as, not really feels, but it appears to be dark. Dark because it is the womb of creation. Is this clear?
Yes.
It is also a place that is warm. So it is not a frightening, cold, dark place, but a warm womb-like place that appears dark because it is pre-manifestation and it is a womb.
Ah.
So this is important to note because you may encounter this as well. Is this clear?
I think we lost you for a moment.
I think so well.
Yeah.
And where did that happen?
You said that it would be a warm, dark place like a womb.
That is correct. So if you experience that, do not fear it, simply because it is dark.
Okay.
But of course, the light, that is God as well. Is this clear?
Yes. Of course, also the light that is God as well.
There is the light and the dark, but this is the light and the dark that is spoken of, not the lightness and the negativity. Does this make sense? Are we breaking up?
No, we have one question coming forward.
Hi, thank you. I have a question. For the past few months, I've been receiving many downloads, especially when I'm meditating or sleeping, and I don't always remember the content, but I'm curious what these downloads are. Thank you.
Of course. These downloads are the universe speaking to you, giving you information that is pertinent to you and to your world. Is this clear? The world of your mind. We would suggest that when you do have these downloads, please write them down if you are not doing so already. Is this clear?
Yes.
Write them down and then look them over later on. You can begin to understand a little bit better what they are. And by writing them down, more will come to you. Of course. And this is also coming. This is a communication from your guides as well. This is a very wonderful thing.
Does anyone have a question? You can ask again. You ask good questions. Ask very loud. Yes.
Okay. Hi. I've had many visions. But one in particular, I found uncomfortable, and the date, September, I think it was 17th, appeared along with some other imagery. And I was wondering if that date is something that you can speak about.
All that we can say is that this date is a very significant date, not entirely understood by all who are receiving this date, but it is a time that is coming where there will be a great amount of shifts. Is this clear?
Yeah.
It is for the benefit of the whole, of course. When you receive these images, it is good also for you to write these down as well. Would you have anything that you could share?
Yes. Well, in connection with this date, the image that I saw was males. It's a rather disturbing image, with turbans and horns.
This is something that is a product, of course, that comes from confusion and fear. This is clear. Meaning that the entire situation that has this that is being projected out comes from a sense of confusion. Does this make sense?
Can you speak to the shifts that you were referring to surrounding that date? What kind of shifts?
There will be a large amount of shifts in consciousness that will occur due to some events, but do not fear. Does this make sense?
Can you specify the events, possibly?
We don't want to really specify the events because if you focus on it that way, sometimes that will not be the best. But if you focus on it as simply, it is a time of great shifts. I will let go and let God reveal to me what kind of shifts that are going to be occurring. You step out of the way and allow what is truth to come through. Is this clear?
Yes, I do understand that.
There is a mass consciousness, and this mass consciousness has much going through it. You may receive images of things in events that may be occurring or wanting to occur, and this comes from mass consciousness. Is this clear?
Yes, I do understand that sometimes we go through periods which create great discomfort in order that we can then directly or indirectly expand our consciousness.
That is correct. Sometimes these things happen. Your discomforts, actually, this is good because the discomforts are not a bad thing. It is simply that you are becoming much greater than you were before. So your world around you is becoming a little too uncomfortable and you're expanding beyond this point. So you have to allow this growth to happen. Sometimes these situations occur because it is time for a major change to happen. And these changes sometimes cannot happen unless something large occurs because of the stubborn nature of the ego mind. Is this clear?
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, we don't want you to see this as a prediction, because you also have the power to have something of benefit happen that is actually pleasant. But we're not going to say, or what we want to say is that no matter what happens, it is happening for your highest good, because it is always going to be a growth process. This is clear.
I do understand that.
Right now, a lot of growth is happening and things are becoming more and more uncomfortable, specifically because it is time to shed the old. Is this clear?
Yes. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Is there anything we can do to raise our vibrations or conscious to prepare for this beyond, what we are normally doing or what you've already told us?
It is simply to place your attention and focus solely on the highest good for all. That means be in alignment with God and God's will, which is always for the benefit of all, which is grace, unconditional love, joy and peace, and these kinds of vibrations and emotions. That is the best thing that you are to do, because as you do this, you are greatly influencing the shifts that occur. Is this clear?
Yes.
So we want you to prepare for that without even thinking of anything else. Don't do it because you are concerned that something bad is going to happen, but do it because that's the right thing to do and you want to be in alignment with God, period.
Okay. Oh, go ahead. We have another question. Whatever you want to share.
I have a question about a dream I had recently, and I feel like the past, months I've been given messages, and I am not able to decipher what they are. But I have had some strange dreams. The most recent of which was a gigantic bug, a mix of butterfly and a dragonfly, but with very peaceful colors. I'm terrified of bugs, so I'm not sure why I keep dreaming of bugs. But in the dream, I had the realization that it's trying to give me a message. However, I wasn't able to face it and let it talk to me. I just was kind of feeling fearful. Would you be able to tell me what the message was?
Absolutely. This message is a message of metamorphosis. You are afraid of your metamorphosis. This is clear? Because you are evolving, you are expanding. And these two insects actually represent very high vibrations. And this is your transformation. You were afraid of it, but you don't have to be afraid of it. In fact, don't be afraid of it at all, because this is the transformation you have been asking for. Embrace it.
Thank you. I feel a lot better.
It is a good thing.
So we have been learning lately of people who live to be 400 years old or who are currently alive, and bringing forth information about living well, who are like 400 years old, 700 years old. Last night, the Guruni Arun mentioned someone who's over 2,000 years old, and currently, like someone he knows personally that he's studied with, who looks like he's no more than, what did he say, 40 or 20? Yeah. It's wonderful to know that there are people like this teaching. For us in this room, is there, aside from the advice that you've been giving us, is there anything we can do to extend our health and well-being to be healthy and vibrant for 100 or more years?
That is up to you. We have to say that some are called to do this work, to remain here for an extended period of time, to teach, as you have said. Others are not. The reason that they stay is simply to teach. Is this clear?
Yes.
So that is why the universe is able to continuously refuel them and keep their bodies, their temple, the way that it is. Does this make sense? So it really is not anything that they are specifically doing, but it is a total releasement into God's will and the teachings of God. That is the lifestyle that can bring about thousands of years of life. Is this clear?
Yes.
Do you have any guidance of how we could have more comfort in our physical bodies through these ascension symptoms that we might be experiencing?
You have to make peace with the process. Not all of it's going to be comfortable, but don't feel frightened of these sensations. And as well, know that you are not the body, but the body is going through these changes, and be very gentle toward the body for these changes and the discomforts that you may experience that are in the body. It is all temporary. It is a shaking out of the old in order to bring in the new.
Are there ways for us to support the body besides making sure that we're getting it enough protein?
Of course, meditation. Focus upon your breathing, using prana to assist yourself. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Prana.
Use specific exercises with breathing in order to regenerate, and that was the word we were looking for earlier about those who live thousands of years, regenerate. To regenerate the energies that you need in your physical body. Is this clear?
Yes, thank you.
Of course. Always meditation. Things like yoga. You want to be feeling vital and alive. Move the body. And of course, have a healthful diet. And as you know, drink plenty of water. Is this clear?
Yes.
In fact, you need to drink a little more than you usually or what you previously thought you needed.
Can you talk to us briefly about different dimensions and how we can become more in tune with the different dimensions? Or you mentioned the 12th dimension is the source for creativity. Are there any other dimensions you could talk about?
Of course, you are actually moving into a higher dimension yourselves. This is the 5th dimension of the heart. Is this clear?
Yes.
Unconditional love. So that is something. There are so many dimensions. There are dimensions where the Ascended Masters reside, dimensions where the angels and archangels reside, and other light beings all throughout the universe. Each have their own dimension. Is this clear? The dimensions are infinite.
And how do you travel or are there ways anyone travels through the dimensions, or is it all just through intention?
It is intention, absolutely. And it is awareness. Becoming aware of a specific dimension actually has some of your consciousness there already. Is this clear?
Yes. Do you have any advice for us if we wish to become more receptive to traveling through dimensions or finding them?
It is to, the first thing that we are going to say, of course, is turn to your guides and ask, what dimension is most beneficial for me to focus on, and is it appropriate for me to venture into these dimensions at this time? And please assist me in doing so if it is appropriate. Is this clear?
Yes.
It is good to be aware of these things, that your work is here. Is this clear?
Yes. Okay.
Are you able to know who the guides are that surround me?
Give us a moment. You have many guides. They are angels that we see. They are also archangels, beings of light. These are the ones that surround you, as well as ancestral guides.
Is it possible to pinpoint who the ancestral guides are?
We cannot really do that for you, but we do suggest you ask them, because they are waiting for you to ask. They want to communicate specifically with you. Is it clear? Open yourself to this communication.
In what way can I be more receptive?
You have to set the intention. Always with intention. And ask. Asking and intention.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions?
I think there aren't any specific questions, but we would love to hear anything that you wish to tell us.
What we want to tell you is to become more and more aware of the thoughts that you are thinking, the reactions that you have. We want you to begin recognizing reactions as also a part of the ego mind, and that is something to rise above. The reactiveness comes from the ego mind. Does it make sense?
Yes.
That, of course, is also part of the opinions and judgments that come about in this ego consciousness. It is really time to wrap this up and put this aside, because it is time for you to walk through the barrier into the true world that has already been established for you. It is just that you need to make the decision to be there. That is to make a decision every moment, to make choices, to always have the highest intention and the highest vibration. Is this clear?
Yes.
And so that is what we want you to know. And stop second guessing yourselves. Because you are all powerful beings. How can you not be when you have God within you? Remember this always. Because this is where your truth resides. It's all within you. Times are very much accelerating and change. Be open to it. And let go and let God. And we want to thank you all for allowing us to come through today. And we shower you all with infinite blessings, unconditional love, all the joy that you can handle. And so it is. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you. Hi, Erin.
Hi.
Welcome back. Were you able to hear anything that you were talking about?
I was aware of some of it, but like I say, it's just kind of going through, just moving by, and I don't really hold on to it, so it's just like thoughts. It's interesting.
Well, that was amazing.
I'm so glad.
Can you tell us a little bit about whom we were talking with today?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it was Jesus and Mother Mary. They always come through. There was somebody else, but I can't pinpoint who that is.
That was brilliant.
Thank you. Yeah, they were very eager for this, preparing me for this for about a week. And so it's very exciting. A lot of the stuff is really falling into place quickly now.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Oh. I'm off to the side here. I'm Pam. I'm Erin's mom. So I was here listening, and I thought it was really interesting. You were asking about the people that live these long lives. I don't know. Oh yeah. Go ahead. So, and I was like, I don't believe that. Sorry, but I just know it. But then again, I don't know. And I said, you know what? I don't know. I had a reading from someone on my birthday. Actually, that was a few weeks ago now. And she said that I am one who is supposed to be here for 1,000 years. You gotta be kidding me. I don't want to be here for 1,000 years. And she was saying your body will just keep regenerating, and you'll just look young forever, and you're going to stay here to teach. And I was like, oh my God. Wow. And it's just so amazing to hear you. I know he has been speaking about that as well.
Oh, that's funny.
It is funny.
Yeah, Beverly Nickerson is working with a yogini who's over here till mid-July, and she's something like 700 or 800 years old, and she came down from a mountain cave somewhere to travel around telling people, you know, you may not want to do so much pollution because this is your environment. But eventually she's going back to her cave because that's where she's at peace.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm in a cave, but that's amazing because I was thinking, well, maybe she means that I'll have 1,000 years of lifetimes. But she definitely was saying that I'm supposed to be here for 1,000 years.
Well,
and that you've been trying to get out of it this whole time. I know that. I'm supposed to be here for another 1,000 years.
well, if 30 years from now you still look like this, then you'll know.
Exactly. That's true. That is so funny.
You'll be going out trying to get the anti-Botox treatment.
I won't have to look my age. And then I was also interested when they were talking about the 0 point in the 12th dimension, and I was thinking, well, what processes are there that do the creating? What beings are there? I don't know if anybody has ever heard of what's there, or is that the Elohim? That's the only thing I've heard of, the Elohim. Yeah. And apparently I work with them. That's what she said too.
Wait, what is the Elohim?
Elohim?
Elohim.
Elohim, they are like the creator beings or something like that. They're like the ones that are considered deities and like gods, I guess. That's what they were talked about. But they're ones who created a lot, like did the creation of this plane of existence and all these others too, not just this plane of existence. So
interesting.
It is. It really is. I remember them coming through a few years ago, and I was like, I don't know how to work with you because they were teaching me. I saw Archangel Michael. They were teaching me how to create something physical or form out of nothing that's physical.
Wow.
And I still don't get it really, but I guess maybe I'll do that in 1,000 years. So yeah, that's where I am.
It's good that you have a sense of humor.
Yeah, you have to. Definitely. I don't think that you can live for 1,000 years and be serious at the same time. It wouldn't be very fun. I wouldn't want to do it.
It would make it seem like 3,000 years.
Oh my God, yes, it's horrible. So how are all of you?
Erin, how old are you right now?
Really?
Yeah.
I'm 31.
And you look like you're 16. You're in trouble.
I know, actually. I was just looking at you and said, oh, I look a little older now.
969 more years to go.
Oh, boy. That is a big thing.
One moment at a time.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
That's overwhelming that way.
It's okay. The first 250 are the hardest. After that, it's how is your work?
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, another thing when you brought up the vast space that just light that some people went into, and then they started talking about that some people experience it as darkness, as a vast, like an empty darkness, and yet, the womb they were talking about, and then it's just this, it's like where God is, or. So I thought it was interesting that you have talked to people who have experienced it as simply as light, and I think that would be more reassuring than, I guess it can be unsettling to experience the great darkness. Yeah, I mean that's what I've heard, that it's frightening, but then I've heard that the ego can be lost in that area there. So. Oh yeah, you can lose it, like it won't go away. Yeah. Once you get past the fear, of course. You have to get past the fear first, but once you get past the fear, then you don't even have ego. It's really weird. No, it's good. We haven't experienced that yet, unfortunately. I mean, fortunately or unfortunately. If you want to get rid of the ego fast, I wouldn't mind. Yeah, but I don't want to be terrified either. Because Matt Kahn went there.
Yeah, we don't know who he is.
Oh, you don't know who Matt Kahn is? Oh, I thought everybody knew who Matt Kahn is. He's what is he, a bestseller now? He wrote a book called Whatever Arises, Love That. Whatever Arises, Love That. And he lost his ego in that darkness, in the void. And he's been egoless ever since. So he's been teaching about all of this. So that's a good one to check out. Whatever Arises, Love That.
Cool.
Yeah. And then Evan Alexander, I remember, also experienced that when he had his near-death experience.
Oh, yeah.
Dragonflies scared me.
I'm terrified of bugs, man. It's so creepy.
Oh my God, you would hate it here. Miriam, you would hate it here.
I know, there's spiders and...
No, let me tell you what was in my, twice, like in my bedroom, and then now in the area that's behind me, I was walking around here, looked out, and there's a scorpion.
Oh!
Yeah, so another scorpion in my... Let me explain. Oh yeah, this scorpion is the most deadly scorpion. Well, no, that isn't what I wanted to What I wanted to explain is they had to open, we had a leaking pipe, so they had to open up a wall, and it was left open, and that's why it got in. So.
You have scorpions in the walls of your house.
Yes, because it's a new house, and so they haven't died yet. The ones, there aren't a lot of them, I'm sure, but we have. I did have something put around the whole base of the house that was very expensive, and they can't climb in here. So it just, unfortunately, because the wall was opened up, that there was one in there. So.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the downside of living here. Yeah.
So, what kind of energetic life force do scorpions have?
Oh my God, I have no idea. They're just, they have a really hard exoskeleton. And you have to use a hammer to kill them. I think you can step on them, but I wouldn't want to. Well, I used the hammer and broke the tile floor.
Oh my God.
I wanted to kill it, so I just and then I found out you could use the mallet, but I was so freaked out I couldn't grab a regular hammer.
Oh my God.
But they called the hammers, or they called the Arizona fly swatter. What?
I was gonna come visit you, but I think
I
I'll
know.
make
You can still come visit because we won't be around them. We had a pod, and our stuff was sitting out for a long time. And I think that the one that came in when we first moved in was from that. Either that or it was under one of the washers and that he has went from. So that one we hadn't seen any more, and I used that black light, and I went around and I checked everywhere, and there were none. But then, like I said, that wall was opened up, so this one appeared.
When I lived in Hawaii, it was so lovely there. When we'd go camping, we would just put our sleeping bags out without a tent and sleep under the stars. And we had to be sure to never sleep under a tree, or the scorpions in the nighttime would drop out of the tree onto you.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
They tend to be anywhere there's new construction. I even looked it up. They're pretty much they're all the way up into Virginia. Not this particular variety, but yeah, you guys have them there. It's new construction.
Yeah. Well, we know Erin's okay. She's going to live for 1,000 years. But
None of that can't even kill me. Can't even do that.
yeah, Pam, we hope you'll be careful. But let Erin do all the scorpion killing.
Yes, exactly. You go first, It's almost like I was told that even if I tried, the universe would find a way to bring me back. So I'm not in the next place. I just keep this body. So I don't have a choice, I guess. So I guess I'll be the scorpion killer.
Erin the Scorpion Killer.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That can be
1,000-year-old scorpion killer.
That can be your coat of arms.
Exactly. That's right. That's why I'm here. I'm gonna eradicate the scorpion.
Your logo can be an angel with a hammer and scorpion at your feet.
That's right. Yes. With a dead scorpion attached.
I wanted to tell you, Guruji, Arun, and Priya are coming back tomorrow for a class. They're going to stay here for about 8 or 9 days, I guess. I've been charged with finding them a place to stay and other places to present at. So I've already spread the word out.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. He texted me and he told me that he was going to do that, and that he is also excited to take anybody who wants one-on-one sessions. So.
Did you have a one-on-one session with him?
No. He just came over a lot. Funny, actually, he just showed up one day, and then he came back. At a meetup. I had a meetup, and he just came because he recognized me, and then he came 2 more times. Once for a channeling, and then next he taught us Prana Shakti.
Cool.
Yeah.
He's going to do a 2-day workshop this weekend for that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
He's probably going to teach you all of. Well, he'll tell you because I know there's stuff I don't know. I have one friend who took them all while he was here, but we didn't take them all.
He's going to teach level 1 and level 2 Prana Shakti healing.
Okay.
And we're going to combine some yogi diet, which he said was similar to an Ayurveda diet.
Okay.
Since we have the food truck, we thought we'd take advantage of it.
Oh, yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
I was interested in Ayurvedic diet, just what that was. So, are you gonna have it on your meetup?
Yes, I made the flyer today. I'll forward that to you.
Awesome.
And it will go on Meetup today also.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Not that I'll be able to enjoy it, but
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I guess
Thank
it's
you.
time for us to
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
I'll
It was
call
good
you.
to see everyone.
Right. So you're out of town for July, but we can try again for August unless things come up.
Unless something changes in July, I will let you know.
Okay. And
I need to look again at the calendar because things have changed around so much. So I will let you know how that goes.
okay. Thank you. We'll try to get technology compliant by then.
Yeah, that would be good.
And have a good 4th of July next month, Erin.
I know.
Yeah, enjoy the wherever you're going or whatever you're doing. Enjoy it out there. Keep the scorpions out there.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's the only thing. So I'll stay inside.
Well, thank you. We're going to get off now. I'll call you in a little bit.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay. Love you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, wasn't that amazing?
That was amazing. I was talking about the instar, which is the, for Miriam, it's like you're developing, and this gal here, you're developing.
Yeah.
And church this morning, Unity said, you shed. He said Reverend Russ said every time I find a snake skin in the garage, I kind of cringe, but I know that snake has left and graduated and gone on to something else, bigger, but that type of thing, and that's what we're doing. I mean, that's what she's saying. Get ready because we're starting to do the instar, not OnStar, not the thing with the car. Instar, it's an actual process that the animal grows and grows and grows, and we do the same thing. So it was just so cool. And then she's bringing it up, and he brought it up. And,
That is so great.
Yep. So we graduate every time something happens like this. We graduate.
Well, this is wonderful. Thank you all so much for joining us.
Thank you, Juanita.
And I will email this video to everyone. We'll see. I have no idea how it will come out. It's all right. It'll be something. If you get a chance to join us tomorrow night. I just want to say, wait, just a quick announcement, which is, of course, tomorrow, of course, Guruji Arun will be back, and we're going to be doing something with mala beads and crystals, so it will not be an exact repetition of Saturday. On Tuesday,
So that's when there's going to be geometry question.
yes, thank you. Tuesday, normally I do a white light energy healing meditation, but I can't be here. The Autism Resource Center asked me to do a presentation there. They had someone drop out. I'm a fill-in. Reverend Deborah, who does all the angelic messaging, will take my place. Going to do super fun. She's got a wicked sense of humor. She's really just very laid back, very funny, but so connected to angels. And she's going to do a meditation that will get everyone connected to their guardian angels and angel messages. Everyone will be receiving. That's Tuesday night, and that will be right here in this room, 7:00. I'll be out of town Wednesday through Friday, but Wednesday we have a private group. Thursday, Daniel and Chaz are going to teach people about doing energetic healing with the use of hot stones. Yes. So the boys are taking over. The market boys are taking over. And then, of course, Saturday we'll have this amazing Prana Shakti healing weekend. So a lot going on. You all feel welcome to just move in. Yeah, that's Deborah. Yeah, we have flyers for Deborah here.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm not sure when he's going to be all week, but Monday,
Yeah,
I
that's
think
better,
it's
Erin.
1:30.
Well, my guess is she must have been
Yeah.
the
Well,
Scorpion.
he can do the before session, like in the afternoon. Tuesday he'll be here, so Tuesday we can book sessions because he's going to be a guest for Deborah's class. I put on meetup. I'll put like, just call me and I'll set it up. I'll put it all on meetup. Or even like Tuesday, you mean?
Oh, I know.
Tuesday.
Are you?
I'm not sure. I think he's staying Monday night with Jim.
Jim's
So Jim's going to bring him here Tuesday.
Yeah, so what I do is I park over there and Dawn, like I'm going to go over to you. I get me a little sandwich or something.
Yeah, she's going to be with him tomorrow afternoon.
So, what is it? TGI Fridays or something?
Yeah, my guess it'll be somewhere there. But tomorrow, are you coming to tomorrow night? No. Okay. I'll find out. I mean, it's all so last minute.
I know it is, and that's
I'm
why
like,
I wanted to ask you, because I don't
Yeah.
want to go to a meetup with private stuff. It goes out to everybody.
Do I have your email?
You do.
I do. Oh yeah, because you're in Lowell's group.
Yeah,
but I
but
do. But
you know, I was just going to say, how about if I give you my stuff?
Yeah, that would be.
Oh, yin yang. You know the yin yang.
Oh yeah, everyone's phone. You can take off the airplane mode now.
Okay.
That's why they were trying to tell you. Yeah, it's light and absence of light. Because God made everything. So that's what she was trying to say. Is it's going to be like this scary place because it is dark. Yeah, which is really.
Said he enjoyed it.
Yeah, I was texting him from all of us who work here went out.
I'll see you next weekend. I think I'm gonna come to the.
It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I'm sold. You don't have to.
And we'll feed you.
Yes, even better. That's what I'm coming here for, actually. But we'll be in touch.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was thinking early August would be fun to get a yoga in the park day.
Sure.
Cool.
Excellent. Good to see you. See you next week.
Yeah. Okay, what's your cell? 703. Okay, cool. I will.
And that way, messages or whatever, you can, you can just text me, and so that way. Somewhere in
No. There you go. I just sent you a goofy text.
Okay. Yep.
Now now you no longer have to wait for me to text you.
Excellent. And then I'll have your phone number too.
Yes.
I am like, what's the Monday you talking about the realtor that you met?
No.
You said she went? You said you had a card.
Yeah, did take her call.
Okay, I'm leaving too.
Yeah, she works in the plane.
I didn't realize it's cheap. You weren't supposed to have like 2 healing sessions for an amount of time. Just last night. Well, and then that's fine, but Dr. Joshua yesterday was my wife's on, and I got a late text last night. Okay, well here's that, blah, blah. And she said, you want to get some like this and that, and you might get another reading. It's, and you shouldn't get 2 of them within 3 days. Just because you want to you want to let yourself simmer and get. No, and I understand, so I canceled him. He canceled me. No, I understand. Yes, well, I guess it's sort of like maybe if you're not used to it, so just something, if you get you're supposed to have one. So, because I was coming over here
that's Joshua when he works on someone as a naturopath.
So I'm seeing Wanda on Wednesday, and I don't want to cancel that.
No, this is
no other time. Unless I do this with him Friday.
It's like if you went to a doctor to find out what your general state of being is, and you just received amazing healing, you don't have true information. Yeah.
All right. Well, you all take care. All right. My name's Susie. Hey, Joyce? No. All right, take care. Bye.
He actually was like doing hands-on healing for people, and then he teaches both. He said, especially when you're a beginner, it's better to be hands-on because then the connection is stronger. But then once you get used to it, you can heal anyone, anywhere. Yeah. And it doesn't matter. They can be awake, not awake, aware, not aware. Yeah, that's bad. But then everyone did a group healing on stage. And because here he's got that fatty tumor, and he's got like his rear legs are giving out. Oh, cool. Yeah, I think he has, I don't know if he has arthritis or, he's a street dog for a while, and he got kicked a lot when he was a street dog. Had a rough life. So everyone did a massive group healing on him. And all evening he was running around, barking. I'm feeling good. Yeah.
That person's in the way. I'm sorry. That's your chair.
Oh, you should have seen whenever the Guruji would get out of the chair, because we had it up front there for him to sit in. Yeah. Zach would jump in it and stare at him.
I'm gonna go see Susan's face. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I was just curious.
Yeah. No, it's he had so many anecdotes as well, like talking about miraculous things that people have done in front of him. It was very inspiring to know that he's like, yes, I have seen someone change lead to gold. It's not that hard, but then what are you going to do with the gold? Because if you use it for selfish purposes, you lose the skill. Yeah. Oh yeah, do this. So it's pointless. And he said, I've also seen people change an entire field of manure into food that is absolutely delicious to eat. And like he was talking about different kinds of spiritual practices and what kind of energy it takes within you to heal with this modality or to practice that modality, and it's really amazing.
Curious, do you think that once people learn this sort of I'm just curious, people are gonna like there's Reiki groups and stuff. I'm just curious if a group might come out of this.
I'm hoping. I am. That's so funny because we're so quirky, the people who work here, and we all have our own ways of working. We're always teaching each other what we do, that we seem to be forming our own weird thing. But when we get down to it, it's all the same. It's all with the Prana Shakti. He taps into every dimension at once, and the energy of every dimension at once. Says he's like a
Okay,
teacher
I'm
in
sure
over
you did. I'm
50
just getting
different
Bonita.
energetic healing modalities. And he was saying each one has its own way, and some of them are very good, but Prana Shakti
the guru's coming
is
tomorrow,
all
and
of
I've got an
them
appointment with him.
at once,
And then I leave Tuesday
because
morning,
you
and I
are
thought,
tapping
well, here
into
we go.
every single
It's the universe saying,
every dimension.
okay. Because you're local and he's
And he
not.
said, and then you
Oh, I did.
can infuse it with color, or with, like he was talking about, isn't it, yeah, like,
And you know, I
the effect color has when you incorporate it with the energy and then tap into dimensions to infuse it. It was really, and he had to go so quick because it was just a 2-hour workshop.
Yeah.
That you were like, wait, we want more. And he's like, no, on to the next subject.
He's just trying to
Yeah. It
show
was,
you the breadth of what's out there.
yeah. Yeah. If you look at, here, let me show you some of the This is